In this crazy world of ours, you can't believe everything that you hear. Let me give you some crazy examples of something here. Vitamin C. Absorbic acid. They used to think that, well, absorbic acid is vitamin C, but not so. Okay. Absorbic acid is a replica of natural vitamin C made in a laboratory. Okay, why am I talking about vitamin C? Well, let me go on with this. When I ordered Nature Made brand from Lasada, it came back Nature Made, the whole label, but everything was in Chinese. Everything was in Chinese. Couldn't even read the label. Didn't have the USB. Didn't have the insignia of an FDA approval on there at all. So they make products and they'll call it Nature Made. But did you know that Nature Made products, all of them are made in San Fernando Valley, California, and in Alabama, of all places. But they outsource, to other countries like China. That's why when you order something from Lasada, chances are it's from China. And you look at the label, you can't even read the label. So what does that exactly mean? How do we relate this to YouTube? Um, okay. Did you know the United States owes China over $800 billion? Well, sounds crazy because China is basically our enemy of the United States, right? But yet we borrow from China, as a lot of countries do borrow from other countries. What if we had war with China? What happens to our debt? Does it go away? Will China ever really invade or go to war with the United States? Well, it's like there's a sword over their head. China doesn't want to lose $800 billion. They're having their own problem. The gross national product is like 24% uh, in the United States. We're about 14% in China. That America, or shall I say United States, is actually producing more product uh, and has probably the best technology of all nations, far outreaching actually China. And it is one of the most powerful countries. Now, what these countries do is they try to show force. Oh, we don't see that on YouTube, do we? We try to show it. It doesn't mean, for example, the labeling. You could call something vitamin C, but it's not necessarily natural, and most of them are not. Did you know that most vitamins are manufactured in China? Okay, yeah. Now, if you ever went into China, as I understand that, I'm not talking about Hong Kong, but let's talk about China. You go into China, it is so highly toxic and polluted. I can't imagine making so called natural products in that country, the toxins that might be involved. We're buying labeled products from China that have an American brand name on it. I mean, come on, look at all the products around that Filipinos like to wear. You really think they could afford Prada? You think they really could afford any of the branded names, so-called high quality clothing and so forth? But they don't care. They just go by the name because most Filipinos can't afford the real thing. So they'll wear Nike that's you know manufactured in China, and a lot of products that you would think comes from America, but is not coming from America because, well, outsource whatever. The labor is cheaper in these countries. Does it mean the product is going to be U.S. quality made? Not at all. Not at all. They go by their own standards. So a lot of the vitamins and things that you buy are not always made in the United States. You know, saving labor costs and everything else. This is not anything new. There's a facade going on here with everything. Like United States owes China $800 billion, but yet could possibly go to war with this country. Okay, everything is not what it seems, is what I'm trying to say. That people on YouTube that are attacking others, it don't necessarily mean that they don't like the other person. They don't know the other person, but they want to go with the flow. It all looks good on paper, right? So whoever gets under the attack of somebody, they're doing it for attention. You got to read the label with that too. There's a label to be read on all this. making judgments on somebody. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can say somebody's broke. Well, maybe they're not. You could say you're taking a specific vitamin that is USDA approved or FDA approved, whatever, excuse me, FDA approved, but it's really not, but the label looks good. So a lot of people that defend certain criminals on YouTube, it's all a facade. They don't like the guy. And we could name names on here. We don't have to. You know who they all are. It's for show. That's all it is. It's for show. They come up with stories, incredible stories about people on here. Does that necessarily mean it's true? No. In some cases, it is. But the majority of people that go into the attack of people on YouTube are lacking certain things in their life. They're like that false label that you'll find on vitamins or other products saying what great quality it is when it's all bullshit. A lot of the people who make accusations and allegations against people have more problems than the people they're claiming have problems. They're not going to tell you what their problems are, whether it's health wise, psychological, moral, or whatever. Most of these people who actually are attacking others on YouTube lead some very interesting lives that they're not going to tell you about. Nobody, including myself, has perfection here on YouTube. Not one person. That's inclusive of myself. You could criticize somebody's lifestyle, make assessments of how much they're worth, what they're living on, their health, their demeanor, their character, and so forth. Don't mean it's true. Just as these labels put on various products say that this is the real McCoy, this really is vitamin C, natural vitamin C, but in fact, it's made from absorbic acid, which is a laboratory produced vitamin. It's not really the real thing. Neither is anything else on YouTube. It's not the real thing. But people get enjoyment from this facade of perfectionism where they think that we're living better than you. Well, some people are living better than others, but they will not acknowledge other people's successes. They will not acknowledge it because they're not living that life. Kind of a strange broadcast. Vitamin C, but it makes sense when you think about it. We have an enemy that we owe $800 billion to. What will happen if we really went to war with them? We would not want to really go to war with them. They really wouldn't want us to go to war with us. Not when there's a debt owed. Okay, we'll go back to something else. Why would somebody continue to make lame comments on YouTube that's already incarcerated? That doesn't make any sense either, does it? This false facade that they're doing well. I'm having a great day. My life is good. Well, is their life good? They're behind bars. I think you guys get my point in some crazy way. So don't believe everything you hear on here. There's a lot of people that make these statements are living a pretty fucked up life. And they're jealous of other people. They don't want to see anybody successful in any form or way because perhaps they're lacking something, like putting a label on themselves saying, I'm the real thing. Yeah. No, you're absorbic acid is what you are. Or should I call absorbic asses? You're not the real thing. The only natural thing is the real thing. It's made by nature. The only pure people are those who don't commit sin. And well, as far as YouTube is concerned, those without sin cast the first stone. I assure you, no stones will be thrown.